Today we're talking all about skirts. I've got 9 different styles of skirt that I have tried and tested over the years as I've been buying from Sézane. And these are my thoughts on all of the different shapes, styles and sizes. I have minis, I have midis, and I have maxis. So whatever kind of skirt you're interested in, if you've been thinking of purchasing from Sézane, but you're not quite sure about the sizing, the quality, the composition, the styling, the versatility, all of that is going to be covered in today's video. I think I want to start with mini skirts because I have one that I am loving at the moment and is probably one of my top recommendations from this whole video. It is, if you saw my last video, you might know this, it is the Sorena Skirt. This is a merino wool skirt. Think of it as the skirt version of the Betty cardigan or even the skirt version of the Navy Matthew trousers that I'm wearing at the moment. So comfortable. I love this skirt. I'm going to pop it on so we can style it up and I can tell you why I love this skirt and my recommendations for sizing, styling, that kind of thing. I've just popped this skirt on with some of my other favorite items in my wardrobe. I really love this outfit. So this is the Valentine blouse by Sézane, one of my favorite buys of this autumn season. It is absolutely stunning and I find it goes with so many things, obviously just being a plain white blouse. But yeah, this is the Sorena skirt on, so it's a navy, 100% merino wool. It has buttons down at the front and these patch pockets, which are real. But other than that, it is a pull-on skirt. There's no zip, there's no lining, there's no there's nothing more to it. You don't have to undo the buttons to get it on, although they are functional, but I'm not sure why you would undo them. And it is on the more mini side on me. So I do have a slight heel on at the moment. Don't know if you can see that. I find it quite a nice length. I find it a fairly flattering length for a mini. It's not too short, it's not too long. I have curves, you'll know that short skirts can look even shorter on you because of the curves. So you don't want anything that is too long, but equally, short, sorry, but equally you don't want anything that's too long because it just looks awkward. It looks kind of weird, a little bit frumpy maybe. So I do find this is the perfect length on me. Size wise, this is a size large, which I always kind of think equates to a UK 12 or a US 8 or a European 40, in my opinion. If you are taller than me though, and you want a little bit more length in this skirt, you could definitely size up because it's stretchy. It's a knit skirt, it's got stretch to it. It is going to kind of form to your body, whatever size you choose. So again, if you're short, you could probably size down. And if you're tall, you could size up to gain that little bit of extra length in the back especially. And I think it would be fine because, as I said, it will conform to your body and the waist stretches. So whether you need it slightly bigger or slightly smaller, that will be fine. And that is something I love about this skirt. If I compare this to a very similar skirt from Sézane, which is the Peter skirt, which I tried in the navy in this video that I will pop in the cards, maybe in this corner. Not sure which corner. I'll pop it in the cards because I tried the Peter skirt on in a size 42 and it was beautiful. I loved the look of it. I actually paired it with this same top, but my issue was it was huge on the waist and I tried the size down and it was too small in the hips. And the Sorena skirt negates that problem because it is stretchy. It is so good for curves. If you do have that issue with Sézane trousers, Sézane skirts a lot of the time, you struggle to get them to fit your waist and your hips, please try the Sorena skirt because it just solves all of those issues by being a knit skirt. And you know, if you watch this channel regularly, you know my love for merino wool. It's so soft, it doesn't itch, it washes, it hand washes beautifully if you just wash it in cold water. You don't even have to wash it very often because wool is naturally antimicrobial. There's just so many good things to say about this skirt. I wish they would do it in more colours. It does come in an ecru. It's quite a creamy yellowy ecru, similar to the ecru Betty. So yeah, you can have the navy Betty with the navy Sorena skirt and the cream Betty with the cream Sorena skirt, but I'm a little bit hesitant to try the cream. Let me know if you have it because I would be interested. Obviously I love the skirt and I would love to have another colour, but is the cream going to be really hard to pair with things and is it going to look weird with tights? I'm never sure about white and cream with black tights. Maybe if I go for a shearer tight, but again I'm not sure, so let me know what you think about that. But yeah, first skirt of the video, 10 out of 10 would probably be, bar maybe one other, which I'll show you in a bit, my favourite skirt from Sézane so far. This would look amazing with this skirt, Shall I try it on? Yeah, let's try it on. Hopefully that looks good because I can't really see in the viewfinder, but I'm feeling like this is a good outfit as well. You can't really go wrong, right? And this knit is actually thin enough that you can tuck it in quite comfortably, whereas something like the Betty is a little bit thick to fully tuck, in my opinion. So if you've got, again, any of their mohairy, alpaca-y, fluffery knits, this one is actually really nice because it doesn't itch at all. I don't know, like, it feels so comfortable. I don't have a vest on or anything underneath and it feels so comfortable. So yeah, this is another way that you can wear this skirt, obviously in the winter, chuck a coat over it. Navy looks so good with camel as well, so I might pair it with my curated camel coat. This is going to be one of my go-to outfits this autumn winter. It feels really cozy because everything you're wearing is knitted and wool, but it still looks incredibly chic. So yeah, first skirt. I'm going to have to move on to the next one, otherwise we're never going to get through the 8 other skirts I have to talk about, unless this video is like an hour long, which I don't want you to have to sit through. So yeah, first skirt, Sorena Skirt, size large on me, true to size. Go with your usual size unless you want it to be a little bit shorter or longer, in which you could size down because the knit allows you to have a little bit more flexibility with the sizing. So this is the Adda Skirt. This sold out instantly. Now I got this skirt because I really wanted to compare it to the Sorena. Now I know I love the Sorena so much and I have thoughts about this skirt, but perhaps I should put it on so I can show you the differences first. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but I just don't think this is as flattering as the Sorena. So differences. It is 100% wool, but it is not merino wool. So this is definitely scratchier than the Sorena skirt. I wouldn't go as far to say it's itchy, especially if you're wearing tights, but it isn't as comfortable, it isn't as soft as the merino wool. I definitely give the Sorena a point for that when it comes to comfort of material. Secondly is the sizing, because although it looks like a similar fit size, although I think it, as I said, is a little bit more unflattering for some reason. This is actually an XL, whereas I was wearing the L in the Sorena. But luckily for me, and being very prepared for my videos, I have the L here, so I can actually directly compare them. So I ordered both because for some reason I just knew in my head, I've ordered from Sézane a lot over the last few years. You get to know their sizing and the kind of intricacies of it all. And I just had a feeling that this was going to run small, and guess what? I was right. So I take an L in the Sorena. I put this on. I don't know if I'm going to show you because it just does not fit. It is so short and so tight compared to the Sorena. And I can actually hold them up and show you. So these are both a size large, and I don't know if you can fully appreciate this on camera. However, the Adda, the one in front, is definitely an inch or so smaller in the waist than the Sorena, and also a little bit shorter in the length, in exactly the same size. And I do feel like this definitely runs small. So if you're considering it, or if you're trying to buy it second hand because it is out of stock at the moment, I would size up, unless you like your mini skirts really short. I mean, as you can see on me, this is still short and this is an XL. Unless you are petite, in which case this skirt might be a really good option. Other than that, I'm not blown away by it. I do think it's quite versatile. I do think you can style it in a bunch of different ways. Obviously I have it on with this cream knit at the moment. I do think it would look great with the Valentine blouse that I showed with the Sorena skirt, the plain white blouse. And it also does come with the matching jumper. So this is the Douglas jumper, and it is a little bit of a set, which I do think is adorable, and I love the idea of a matching set. Okay, this is definitely a really cute set and something I do think I would wear a lot. I think it is very nice to have the matching pieces, more versatile than a dress. I also think, spoiler alert, with the jumper, I think it also runs a little bit small, so if you're looking to buy both items, size up in both, unless again you are very petite and very small, because I do think this is a medium, the jumper. I think it fits more like an S, at least most of the S's that I've tried from Sézane. You'll have to let me know what you think. Do you prefer the Adda or the Sorena? My vote is definitely for the Sorena. I think it's so much more flattering, more versatile. I prefer the colour as well, the navy. This one is just a little bit plain, and I think maybe that's why it doesn't feel as flattering as the Sorena. I mentioned that the Sorena skirt is my second favourite bar one Sézane skirt, and that would be this one. This, if you watch my channel, is a skirt I wear all the time. I bought this over the summer and I am in love with it still. This is the Tabata skirt, and this comes in a few different colorways. It's 100% viscose, which is quite standard for their midi skirts, and it is unlined, again quite standard. It has a side split, So the side split starts, I would say, on me, mid-thigh. So you can see it starts here. I do have black tights on underneath, so excuse that. But it starts mid-thigh, and it is noticeable, but it isn't one that kind of blows open. I've never had an issue walking in this skirt and feeling like I was, you know, revealing too much because the slit was moving or, yeah, blowing open. You don't really get that with any of these skirts, to be honest, so I wouldn't let the side splits put you off if it has before. This one is by far my favourite midi skirt from Sézane. It has no real pleating or tiers, which some of the others that I'm going to show you in a minute do. They both have pleating and tiers, and I just prefer this quite plain look on the Tabata. I do think it's probably the most flattering midi skirt on curves from Sézane that I have tried, and I think that is because the material just drapes and flows really beautifully. Now this particular one is a little bit harder to style for autumn winter because it is quite a summery design pattern. I will get most wear out of this skirt in the spring and summer. I will usually pair it with sandals, or it would look great with the Paula babies and just a simple top, a vest top, a tee, whatever takes your fancy, a bodysuit. In the winter it's a little bit more challenging, but I do really like the way it looks with some brown suede boots. It's quite a boho 70s style look, but I do like that in the autumn winter. And then you can pair it with a white creamy knit. I've done that before. I think it also works quite well with anything in the rosewood shade, like this Valentine blouse. The Tabata skirt runs very true to size in my opinion. It's definitely high-waisted. I do wear it quite high up on my waist, as you can see. I get mine in a size 40, UK 12, and it fits me to a T. I love the fit. There is no gap at the waist. It doesn't feel too tight over the hips, and the length is really nice. It's a true midi length. It's mid-calf, looks great with sandals, but equally it looks great with a tall boot in the colder months. Okay, of the two, let's start with Tammie, because I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this skirt. So the main differences between the Tabata that I just showed you and the Tammie, they're both viscose, they're both unlined, they're both midi skirts. The differences are the Tammie has slight tiers. You can see the first tier starts here, which in my opinion is quite an awkward place for a tier to start. Specifically at the back, it goes right across your bum, at least if you're the same height as me it does. And if you're curvy, then it kind of pulls and is a little bit tight. Secondly, the zip is at the back, the zip is at the side. So the Tabata had a zip at the back. That doesn't really make any difference. It's just a minor detail. And the third difference between the Tammie and the Tabata is the waistband at the back on the Tammie is stretchy. So the Tabata didn't have a stretchy elasticated waistband and the Tammie does. As I said, I prefer the Tabata. I think it's more flattering, especially if you're curvy. I think it fits better. I think it's true to size. With the Tammie, I think if you're in between sizes, I would personally size up, particularly if you have a bigger bum or you're just curvier in general. As I said, because of that first tier starting in this awkward position, I just don't think it's the most flattering. I love this new print that they've released, but the Tammie skirt is not the item I'm going to be keeping in this print because I just don't love the fit. This is my first time trying it actually. It does come in a few different options, but yeah, it's not one I would necessarily recommend when I know that the Tabata fits so much better. Okay, and finally we have the Alicia, which is the last in the midi skirt category. This for me sits somewhere between the Tabata and the Tammie. I don't love it as much as the Tabata, but I like it more than the Tammie, and I'll explain why. Again, it is viscose, comes in multiple different patterns and colors. It is unlined, and it also has a side split on this side. They all pretty much have it. This one is actually higher than the Tabata. It does come up right to almost like the top of your thigh. This one has pleats, so this is the difference. So the Tabata had no detail here, it was just straight down. The Tammie had the tiers, and this one has the vertical pleats. So I like the pleats. I like them more than the tiers. Don't cause the same fit issues as the tiers do on the Tammie, but again, I don't think they're as flattering as just having it straight down like the Tabata. Just personal preference. You may prefer this one though. I know a lot of people love the Alicia, and it's definitely one of my favorites. It's just not quite as high as the Tabata. It also does not have a stretchy waistband, so it's the same as the Tabata in the sense that it is non-elasticated all the way around, and the zip is at the side, similar to the Tammie. I hope we're not getting too confused by all of these names. The length is, I think this one is actually a touch shorter than the other two. I think the Tabata is slightly longer than all three, and then you've got the Tammie, and then this is the shortest option, but they're all pretty much midi length, mid calf if you're an average height. I'm wearing this in a 40. I got all of them in a 40. 40, and I would say this one runs true to size. Again, I do wear it quite high-waisted. If you wanted to wear it lower down, I would recommend sizing up. Now, the next skirt I have in kind of a separate category to the last three, because this is definitely longer than any of those. This is almost a maxi skirt on me. I would kind of call it a mid-axi. It's somewhere between the two, as you can see with the try-on clips. This is the Dune skirt, and it's a pleated polyester midi maxi skirt. It's in this gorgeous new print that they've just released from their new fall collection. I love the print. I think this is actually quite versatile, especially if you own a few different Sézane clothes, because this pairs, as you can see, really lovely with ecru. It's got that ecru background, but equally, because of these pinky purple flowers in it, similar to the Tabata, I think this is going to work gorgeously with anything in the rosewood shade from Sézane. So if you do own anything rosewood or ecru, then you're going to have a few different options to pair on the top with this skirt. Now, this is also a size 40, my regular size. It fits fairly well. Again, it is very high-waisted. If you wanted to wear it lower down, I would size up. It has a side zip and it has no elastication to the waist, so there's no stretch to this skirt. It obviously has the pleats. It is polyester because of that. I think these pleated skirts are hard to make in any other material other than polyester, because the polyester can hold the pleats even after washing, whereas other materials like viscose would struggle to do that. It is also one of the only skirts, if not the only skirt I'm showing, that is lined. So it has a viscose lining. So that is quite nice. The material that's actually touching your skin or your tights is viscose rather than poly, so not so bad. This would look gorgeous in the summer as well with sandals. I think this length is really flattering because it doesn't cut you off mid-calf, which sometimes can be a little bit unflattering, especially with sandals rather than boots, but it's going to cut you off more at the ankle if you're an average height. So yeah, I just think that pairs really nicely with like a flat or a slight heeled sandal. I'm back in my comfies to talk to you about the final three skirts, because they're skirts that I have tried, and I will insert clips of them in this video. I'll also link to videos where I fully reviewed them more in depth, but they're not skirts that I have at the moment because they don't fit me quite right. So the first one I mentioned before is the Peter skirt. This is a 100% wool skirt. It is lined with viscose. It has a really cool asymmetrical design and it comes in 3 different colors. The fit on this is a little bit tricky if you're curvy, if you're between sizes. I find that with things like this, I often need an in-between 40 and a 42, especially for the waist. I usually am a 40 in the waist and a 42 in the hips. And because this skirt has no stretch to it, unlike the Sorena skirt, it just didn't fit me perfectly. And that is the reason I decided to keep the navy Sorena skirt over the navy Peter. I will also say, because the Peter is wool and not merino wool, it does have a slight scratch to it, but it is lined. So there's not a huge issue with it kind of being scratchy on your skin, because it's only really the lining that is touching your skin. The next skirt on the list is the Naelle Skirt. This is a skirt that I used to own up until recently, and I actually decided to sell it. And there are a few reasons why. So it's a knit midi skirt, it's 100% merino wool, and it goes in a pairing with that Tammie jumper. I had mine in a size large, which I think is true to size. I would say get your regular size in the Naelle. Similar to the Sorena, you could size up if you wanted a slightly more straight as opposed to clingy fit. Because it's a knit skirt, it's merino wool, it will stretch to accommodate your body. So if you wanted to size up, I think that would be fine. Again, it would be slightly longer in that case as well. Final skirt I have to talk to you about is the Sandy skirt, which is a skirt I've tried in a couple of different colorways, I believe. I tried a floral version back in the summer and also a purple version. Some of them are viscose, some of them are polyester. It's a satin slip midi skirt that you see all over different brands, especially in the summer, but these can also be worn in the autumn winter with tights and boots. It's a nice skirt. It's a little bit shorter than I would like, which is one of the reasons I didn't decide to keep it. I definitely prefer slightly longer midi skirts, almost verging on maxi, mid-axi, and this was definitely more of a true midi, hitting quite high up on the calf. So that was the reason I didn't love it. But again, if you're shorter, this might be a really good option for you. Here's all of the skirts I've tried so far from from Sézane, but watch this space because there are a few more on my wish list to try. Love to try the mini version of the Naelle skirt, but I know it's currently out of stock in both colorways. If there are any other skirts you would like to see me review and try, I'm always up for doing it for you. I'm here to test these things so you don't have to make mistakes. You can get your purchases right first time around. So do let me know in the comments down below if you would like me to trial any of the other skirts on offer from Sézane. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you found this video helpful, please do give it a like. It really does help my channel out. I will leave some other videos for you to watch and enjoy on screen if you would like to continue watching. Otherwise, I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!